Good evening. My name is Dr. Libby Cope, and I'm the Health Officer for the Makah Tribe, and this is the Health Officer Update for February 23rd, 2021. There are no new cases in Neah Bay. The COVID vaccine efforts here in Neah Bay have continued. Right now we have 69% of Neah Bay adult residents who've had the first dose of the vaccine. And this is just a chart to outline the numbers of doses in a little more detail. And this is posted on the stick.org website if you're interested in taking a closer look. Stick vaccine eligibility has been expanded. We've been vaccinating all 5 tiers for about a month, and it's now been expanded to include household members of Makahs as one group and individuals with PO boxes in Neah Bay. So all household members of Makahs are certainly welcome and eligible to come and get the vaccine. Highly encouraged. These vaccine clinics are being held at the community hall on Wednesdays. The next one is tomorrow, February 24th. Please note the new location. They are at the community hall and no longer at the community gym. I'm zooming out a little bit to take a bigger picture look at the US data. So many of you probably know that the United States was reported to have over 500,000 fatalities from COVID-19 on Monday. This is still not reported by the CDC's website yet, but several other websites are reporting it and just acknowledging that mile marker, which surpasses early projections by quite a bit. The daily trend in new cases in the US is decreasing, which is great and has been doing so steadily for over a month. As you can see by this small yellow line, it's still not below the highest peak from the second wave, but it's definitely heading in the right direction. This is a graph showing the daily fatality rate. Again, also headed down, but just about at the same height of the first peak earlier in 2020. This is just a slide to show that projections are also heading down, which is also good news. And we are still paying attention to the variants. There's not really a lot of news there. We're just following as much data as we can. At this time, the only variant that has been diagnosed in Washington State is the one that originated from the UK. That's the B117. Zooming in a little closer, the Clallam County data shows their percent positive is 2.1%. That's with data through February 20th. The goal is 2%, so they are still considered high risk. 24 active cases, only one new case in the last 24 hours. And the percent of county vaccinated is 26%. And this is where that data comes from. This is also just showing that trend in data for Clallam County. As you can see, it's definitely headed down. This is just a slide showing the different phases that the regions are in Washington State. Every region at this time is now in phase 2. And also reflecting that change in data is the trend for Washington State as a whole. This is a slide that I presented on last Friday, but just want to reemphasize that the last health order that was placed, health order 0221 on February 16th, that changed only who is allowed to visit and what they have to do in order to visit. So enrolled Makah tribal members and their household members traveling with them are allowed to visit the reservation. Business visitors with an attestation, and please note that that is an attestation and not an application. There's not an approval process there. And the link to that attestation is on the STIC website, so stihc.org. Please note that at this time, non-Makahs who do not live with an enrolled Makah tribal member are not allowed to visit for personal visits. And of all of these people who are allowed, there's no COVID testing required. No more COVID testing. However, if you do believe that it would be helpful, if there's been any kind of risk in terms of symptoms or having close contact with somebody who has symptoms or has COVID, please do not hesitate to call to request a test. We'd be more than happy to help. And that's it. So I highly encourage everyone to attend the Makah EOC public briefing. I give these presentations there as well. For more info, go to stick.org. If you have any questions, please call the COVID-19 question and concern line. That number is 360-645-6273. Thank you and have a good night.